Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Hawa Aisyah. This is Nur Nadirah Nazri, and this is Muhammad Shahmi. In this video, we are going to share and talk about the financial position and financial performance of these three companies: Gas Malaysia Berhad, Malakoff Corporation Berhad, and Mega First Corporation Berhad. Our group chose utilities industries. The utilities industries includes businesses that supply utility business such as water, electricity, natural gas, and dams. I will share a little bit about the companies. First off, we have Gas Malaysia Berhad. It is a Malaysian gas utility business whose principal stakeholder is Petronas, Malaysia's state-owned energy firm. Gas Malaysia Berhad is involved in distribution and sale of natural gas and liquefied petroleum gas in Peninsular Malaysia. Malakoff Corporation Berhad is involved in design, building, operation and maintenance of a combined cycle power plant, generation and sale of electrical activity, and the capacity of power plant. Next, we have Mega First Corporation Berhad. Mega First Corporation Berhad is divided into three business segments: power, resources, and property. Now, let's move on with vertical analysis. What is vertical analysis? Vertical analysis is prepared by expressing each item in financial statement as a percentage of specified relevant base. This standardizes the financial statement components for comparison purposes. For Gas Malaysia Berhad, the property, plant and equipment during 2020 was the highest percentage, and during 2019 was the lowest percentage. Same goes to the cash and cash equivalent. But in 2019 is the highest percentage for investment in joint venture, prepaid lease payment, and trade and other receivable. And in 2020 was the lowest percentage of them all. While investment funds with a licensed financial intuition has the highest percentage during 2018 and lowest during 2020. Now, let's look at Mega First Corporation Berhad. For property, plant and equipment, 2020 sets the highest, while 2019 sets the lowest. Next is Intangible Assets. Intangible Assets has the highest during 2019. Next, let's look at Inventories. Inventories has the highest during 2020 and the lowest during 2018. Next is investment in properties. It also has the highest during 2020 and the lowest during 2018. Now let's look at land use rights. Land use rights has the highest during 2018 and the lowest during 2020. Both investment in quoted shares and trade and other receivables has the highest during 2018 and the lowest during 2019. Next, let's look at inventories and bank balance and deposits. Both has the highest during 2020 and the lowest during 2018.
For common size of Malakoff, the property, plant and equipment recorded the highest percentage in 2020 and lowest percentage in 2019, same as investment with a licensed financial institution. For investment in joint venture, 2020 recorded the highest percentage, same with deferred taxation. For trade and other receivable, the highest percentage is in 2018, same with prepaid lease payment and tax recoverable. For cash and cash equivalent, highest percentage recorded is in 2019, while the lowest percentage is in 2020.
From Malakoff analysis, we can conclude that there is an increasing in property, plant and equipment from 63.76% in 2018 to 66.31% in 2020 due to expanding growth in the company for the past 3 years compared to Gas Malaysia, which is 52.09% in 2018 to 54.51% in 2020. MFCB experienced declining in property, plant and equipment from 11.44% in 2018 to 8.11% in 2020 because of the certain shutdown of property due to pandemic. Next, the trade and other receivable of MFCB having a growth from 3.71% in 2018 to 9.9% in 2020. The growth was a sequence of higher energy sales and the momentary increase in receivable turnover from the normal 3 until 4 months to 4 to 5 months, while Malakoff has decreased from 10.50% in 2018 to 4.73% in 2020 due to drop in economic activities, particularly in industrial and commercial sectors. The prolonged MCO period result a lower energy income due to reduced capacity factor of power plant, offset by corresponding reduction in fuel costs. For Gas Malaysia, the company has slightly reduced in 2018 from 29.78% to 29% in 2020. Lastly, for the investment in joint venture, Malakoff recorded as increasing in 2019 compared to 2020 by 0.5175%. The Gas Malaysia recorded an increasing percentage from 1.43% in 2018 to 2.56% in 2020. The increasing percentage is due to diversify of the use of gas to more commercial to create new demand in natural gas, while in 2020, Gas Malaysia recorded a decrease of 1.31% in investment in joint venture.
In conclusion, the Malakoff company has the best financial performance compared to the Gas Malaysia and MFCB because they have larger capacity in terms of asset that being represented by the property, plant and equipment. In contrast, the Gas Malaysia has the worst financial performance compared to Malakoff and MFCB as they own only few assets compared to two companies. As for Gas Malaysia, to enhance their performance, they may improve their financial performance by defining the present and future growth of the company and using outside resources to create organizations' current state and futures that related to trends of market for a better financial performance. Horizontal analysis or trend analysis, in which changes are examined over a period of time, provides useful information. The simplest method of performing a horizontal trend analysis is by computing a trend relative to a base year.
Let's look at the trend for Gas Malaysia Berhad. For sales 2017, it increased by 31.1%. 2018 increased by 53.8%. 2019 increased by 69.9%. 2020 increased by 65%. Cost of goods sold in 2017 increased by 32.7%. In 2018, 56.4%. 2019, 73.7%. And 2020 increased by 66.6%. For expenses in 2017, it increases by 31.7%. 2018, it increased by 11.8%. In 2019, it increased by 15.2%. In 2020, it increased by 31.7%. For earning before tax in 2017, it increased by 0.9%. 2018, it increased by 10%. 2019, it increased by 13.8%. And 2020, it increases by 36.6%. For earning after tax in 2017, it decreases by 2.29%. In 2018, it increases by 9.7%. In 2019, it increases by 15.6%. And in 2020, it increases by 29.3%.
Trend analysis for MFCB. For sales in 2017, it is at 91%. For sales in 2018, it increased by 4.48%. For 2019, it decreased by 18.8%. For 2020, it increased by 7.12%. For cost of sale in 2017, it is at 89.06%. In 2018, it increased by 5.97%. In 2019, it decreased by 26.42%. In 2020, it decreased by 22.61%. For expenses in 2017, it is at 95.69%. In 2018, it decreased by 24.45%. In 2019, it increased by 3.94%. In 2020, it increased by 8.42%. For earning before tax in 2017, it is at 92.82%. In 2018, it increased by 6.09%. In 2019, it decreased by 4.53%. In 2020, it increased by 152%. For earning after tax in 2017, it is at 96.63%. In 2018, it increased by 4.87%. In 2019, it increased by 10.7%. For 2020, it increased by 128.3%. Return analysis for Malakoff. For sales in 2017, it is at 116.9%. In 2018, it decreased by 13.8%. In 2019, it increased by 15.9%. In 2020, it decreased by 16.1%. Cost of sale. In 2017, it is at 127.4%. In 2018, it increased by 8%. In 2019, it increased by 3.5%. In 2020, it decreased by 21.8%. Expenses. In 2017, it is at 105.5%. In 2018, it decreased by 10.56%. In 2019, it increased by 7.46%. In 2020, it increased by 2.4%. Earning before tax. In 2017, it is at 82.34%. In 2018, it decreased by 9.71%. In 2019, it decreased by 57.67%. In 2020, it increased by 54.6%. Lastly, earning after tax. In 2017, it is at 78.64%. In 2018, it decreased by 17.98%. In 2019, it increased by 96.54%. In 2020, it increased by 83.2%.
According to the horizontal analysis, the financial performance for Gas Malaysia operated on the highest selling point where the sales or revenue has reached the highest in 2019 with 169.9%, while the lowest is in 2017 with 131.1%. Next, cost of goods sold or cost of sales highest is recorded in 2019 with 173.7%, while the lowest is in 2017 with 132.7%. On the other hand, the highest expenses for Gas Malaysia has shown in 2017 as well as in 2020 with 131.7%, and the lowest amounted to 111.8% recorded in 2018. Continue with the highest earning before tax with 136.6% in 2020, and the lowest earning before tax with 109% in 2017. Lastly, the highest earning after tax is in 2020 with 129.3%, and the lowest is in 2017 with 97.71%. MFCB has a major fluctuation from year-to-year financial performance of 2017-2020. The highest increment in sales and revenue is in 2018 with 65.48%, while the lowest is in 2019 with 76.6%. Next, cost of goods sold or cost of sales highest is in 2018 with 95.05%, while the lowest is in 2020 with just 46%. On the other hand, the highest expenses for Gas Malaysia is shown in 2017 with 95.69%, and the lowest amounted to 71.24% recorded in 2018. We continue with the highest earning before tax is in 2020 with 194.9%, which has a massive gap from the other year, and the lowest earning before tax is in 2017 with 92.82%. Lastly, the highest earning after tax is in 2020 with 240.5%, and the lowest is in 2017 with 96.63%. Malakoff has also faced a minor shift from increase to decrease in financial performance from year to year, as the highest increment in sales and revenue is in 2019 with 119.3%, while the lowest is in 2020 with 102.9%. Next, Cost of goods sold or cost of higher sales is recorded in 2019 with 138.9%, while the lowest is in 2020 with 117.1%. On the other hand, the highest expenses for Gas Malaysia has shown in 2020 with 104.8%, and the lowest amounted to 94.94% recorded in 2018. Continue with the highest earning before tax is in 2020 with 184.9%, and the lowest earning before tax is in 2018 with 72.63%. Lastly, the highest earning after tax is in 2020 with 240.4%, in which it has the major gap from other year, and the lowest is in 2018 with 60.66%. In the overview, MFCB has the better financial performance among the two of the companies, since the increment in overall percentage has a massive increment from the base year compared to Gas Malaysia and Malakoff, although both of the company has a quite above the MFCB. On the other hand, Gas Malaysia is listed as least financial performance among the MFCB and Malakoff, as the trend increased quite moderate from year to year compared to both of the company. The improvement can be made by implementing the company's strategic plan to deliver a long-term objective to meet the network development targets, whilst also preserving operational efficiencies and lowering the operational costs by setting a much lower average natural gas selling price with higher overheads and accumulated depreciation. On the other hand, a significantly larger volume of natural gas sold and a greater contribution from joint venture would also contribute a better future for financial performance.